The zone is more important than the media. It's what we treat, for which purpose. I would highly advise the oil, and if you have color puncture kit, obviously use color puncture. You can also work with crystals on the zone. You can use any media. You can just massage. You just need to know what you're doing. And the question was about combinations, relationships. There is a zone of relationship on the lower back. Depending on the question you want to ask, you might want to do different combinations. So, for example, in the most dramatic situation of separation, situation of loss, situation when you really need to move on, either from relationship with somebody such as in separation, in divorce, business contract breaks, to the situation when you want to really part with some aspect of your own behavior. When we're talking about relationship, we're talking about relationship with ourselves primarily. And then people we meet in our life, people we interact with, they are mirroring back. It's not they are our mirrors and they're intended for this purpose. It's rather we see in other people in our life something that we see, something that resonates with us, either because we need it or because we want to get rid of this quality and we see it in other people, or we are very jealous of this. Jealousy is a practical emotion. They can do it and I can't, or they look this way and I can't. Coming to a practical level, this means that basically whatever this person has who you're jealous towards, whatever quality of them that you're jealous about, is something that you yourself need. You see this and you believe that with your current level of knowledge, abilities and skills you cannot have it, and you see it in another person. This other person might have plenty of different qualities. You don't see them, you see just this one thing. You need it. You need to learn from them. This is how we see it in other people. And if, for example, somebody behaves in a way that you don't like, if you look really, really deep, honestly, and long in the mirror, you are almost bound to find that you acted in the same way, probably in the past, because you see it now. And so what you're doing now, you're seeing the same quality in this other person, and you're still probably beating yourself up for this. So this is relationship, but relationship starts with our self-love, with our self-care, with our, I hate the word self-esteem, because basically self-esteem from my point of view doesn't describe anything, because there is no such a thing as correct self-esteem. When you start doing color puncture, at some point you start seeing yourself, your behavior, your reactions, your motivations, your thoughts, your emotions, your needs, as from the side. It's almost like you're witnessing yourself. Your higher self is watching. Your higher self is really detecting what your daily self is doing. And this is why I know that self-esteem is totally useless term, because we never have an adequate self-esteem. We either undermine our value or we overinflate it. In both cases, it's very, very far from reality. But you can only start observing yourself when you're doing some deep work, and then you can really start this process of witnessing. There is this actually witnessing technique which people use in life coaching and in some therapeutical work. But this is what is happening naturally with colopuncture and crystal and with Dreamwork. Coming back to the relationship zone. And relationship is about relationship with yourself. Good combinations. In terms of separation, when we want to separate from somebody, that means that basically we outlived this quality in ourselves. Or every time we leave the place, the country, the job, anything, the project, we are trying to leave this part of ourselves in the past. So then we have fantastic zone of letting go. And zone of letting go, of course, letting go connected with metal principle, lung legend testing, and so for this reason we use lung legend testing meridians. But there is this excellent area of letting go. So what you can do zone of relationship and zone of letting go. If, for example, you understand that you want to let go, but fear is present because you don't know how you're going to live without this person, this country, this job, this house, this project, this friend, then you can add zone of fear. The only thing here I want to warn is if there are different relationships going on in your life. The letting go principle will apply to all of them. It's not you are going to lose everybody in your life, but relationship which really truly outlived their usefulness will dissolve. You might had some particular relationship in mind, but anything which outlived their usefulness, including the project, as I said, it should not just be talking about relationship. Everything basically we put our part of our soul into, because every time we're in a relationship with somebody, we are exchanging this energy with this person. Every time we work on a project, we are putting part of our soul into this project. So it's almost like we want to withdraw this back to ourselves and we want to become whole again to move on. Just be aware of that. So relationship and letting go, for simple letting go. Relationship and letting go plus zone of fear, this will make 3 zones. if you want to really let go of a relationship, but also move on with trust and leave all the fears in the past, then there are softer issues in relationships. So, for example, sometimes the relationship could be just full of confusion. And it's a good relationship, but something's confusing, or there is not quite enough commitment, or there is something going on which you don't quite like. It's not so severe, but it's not as great as it can be. Then probably you need to connect with some clarification from inside, and then this zone of self-memory would be really great. So you can do zone of relationship, zone of self-memory, and you can add zone of subconscious to it. This is different, right? This is the spirit. This is divine blueprint in us. On a body level, this is our potential, physiological potential, not just soul potential, but this is our potential on possible thing. In the zone of subconscious, it's different, because zone of subconscious is some total of experiences, feelings, emotions, perceptions, digestion, integration of events which happen to us, which is more on a soul level and more on a level of a psyche which holds all this. And subconscious, by definition, presumes that something was too much for you to deal with then, and this is why it goes pushed onto the carpet at the time, and it's still there probably because you never bothered to look. So basically, sometimes those things hold us back. So for this reason, zone of subconscious is really, really good. Zone of subconscious is really good also if you have problem with dreams, with just having dreams. But basically, dream zones work, it will help. Any kind of dream zone will help to have dreams. Obviously, there are many aspects of relationship. I'm just giving you a few examples which you can start off with. Sometimes everything is fine. You have a commitment. You're not going to leave this partner, this relationship, this town, this job. However, something is not quite bringing you joy. This is happening. It's working. But it's working and it's sort of grey. Again, relationship, the job, the project, the town, the whatever it is. You yourself, as you yourself see yourself, your self-image, it just seems great, feels great. Then you can do zone of joy. So you can do just zone of relationship and joy. You can also do, which would be really good combination, because remember, this is heart and pericardium meridian, so this is fire element. And sometimes it just gives you joy. Sometimes it will show you what it is that is standing between you and the joy in your life, between you and joy in your relationships. It will show the reason. Sometimes there is a fear, again, involved. Fear, for example, imagine the situation when somebody had a really bad experience in a relationship in the past. Either really bad separation, or unfulfilled dreams, or there was a promise that was never fulfilled because of various reasons, or just relationship sort of fizzled out with time and everything became again grey and somehow dissipated because it was feeding no one. So when we have an experience like that, obviously this is something that almost a deterrent to having another relationship or to trying again without fear. And so you might consider fear zones together with that. Also remember that fear zones, every time we are talking about fear, we are talking about kidney bladder system. Every time we're talking about kidney bladder system and fear, we are talking about foundation of house of our body. Every time we're talking about heart, we're talking about the top of the house. This polarity between heart and kidneys is one of the central in acupuncture. And this is how we approach kidney health, heart health, and spirit, and so on. This could be a really good combination. Other combinations, ask me. Those are combinations that I can think of straight away. I tried them all. I tried them on myself. I tried them on other people. I know they work, and I know they work wonders, and they can bring absolute joy. And as I said, it's very easy. If you are in any doubt, you just want to tap in, if you just want to try the waters, try it with massage. If you want to really go for Dreamwork, as Dreamwork, just do the oil. Oil is so fantastic for many things. It's a shame not to use it, really, not to have it handy. If you have Colourpuncture, use Colourpuncture. Also, what I found really, really good with Dreamwork, sound therapy. You massage the zone, you put the oil, you put Colourpuncture. and then you switch on particular sound therapy. There is one for immune system, calm, peace, for energy. There are sets of 4 conflict resolution made of steps, builds up to this conflict resolutions and integration of the insights. Very, very beautiful. There is one for migraine. There is one for motivation, concentration, focus. If you seriously want to do the dream work, I would say invest in one of the CDs and just work with them. You don't need a lot. You just need focus and repetition and little daily work. The zone, the focus, the right question to ask is much more important than any media you will ever use. And that relates to colourpuncture, crystal and oil, and acupuncture, and whatever else you're using. So study the names of acupuncture points, study the names of dream zones by Peter Mendel, and you can provide yourself with great basic foundation of self-care.